Great things, great things, great things. Welcome in to Words on a Higher Note, our space to reflect, reset, rise, and remember who we really are beneath the layers. I'm your host, Jalen, and I'm glad you're here. Before we begin, a quick reminder. This reflection is an invitation and a moment to pause and reconnect with yourself. It is not therapy or medical advice. If anything comes up that feels like more than you can hold alone, please reach out to someone you trust. Today's reflection is titled, From Employee to Entrepreneur, Your Current Skills Are Enough. I want you to take a moment to settle in. Welcome to a new year, and not just on the calendar, but in how you see yourself and the work you have already done. This is the year you stop playing small. This is the year you take the skills you developed while working for others and begin building something for yourself. Maybe you have years or decades of experience. Maybe you began when things were slower, more manual, more hands-on, and you had to adapt as the systems and expectations changed. But you learned the new tools. You learned the new processes. You learned how to keep things running when it mattered. You carried real responsibility, the kind that businesses rely on, the kind that requires trust, consistency, and care. And these are not small things. They are meaningful skills. And yet, when it comes time to use those skills, those same skills for ourselves, something tightens. And it's not because we are incapable, but it's because ownership feels heavier than execution. And today, we are going to name that. We are going to choose differently today. And I want to share what sparked this reflection. I was updating my professional summary, what most people think of as a resume. And I was listing all the responsibilities, the outcomes, and the years of experience I had. And as I was reading it back, something came into focus. And not that I have not been building prior to this, but it just came into focus. I have done a massive amount of work. I have honed a wide range of skills. I have handled complexity, responsibility, and change through many years of being an employee, of working for others. And it just became so clear that every one of those skills that I honed is transferable. And not only to another role working for someone else or working for another company as an employee, but to being self-employed, to working on my own terms. And I would not be starting over. I would be starting from experience. And if that realization landed for me, I trust it is landing for someone who's listening. And remember, we are not starting from nothing when we do this. Because I think that's where the hesitation comes from. Because we are starting from everything we have already built, learned, and proven. And that changes everything. It changes the outlook, how we see it, how we see ourselves, how we present ourselves. And something worth knowing. Research has found that self-employed workers report higher job satisfaction than the traditional employed workers, people who are working for someone else who have to answer. And I don't want to say answer to someone else because it's not about answering to someone else, because even when you are self-employed, you are contracting with people and you want your interaction with them, your business with them to be excellent. So you are, in a sense, answering to them because you are giving them a service. You're providing a service for them. But it's different when you are an employee. And in this research, Self-employed workers, again, that's in quotes, right, often experience greater autonomy, more control over their schedules, and a deeper sense of purpose in their work. Now, other studies show that entrepreneurs are, on average, happier and healthier than employees. And it's not because they work less, because they definitely do not work less, but because they work with intention, freedom, and a stronger sense of ownership over what they do. And in one survey, 90% of entrepreneurs reported being happier as business owners than they were as employees. And again, this is not about escaping work. This is about choosing what work honors who you are and what you value. And when we build something of our own, we are not just earning income. We are creating choice, freedom, and fulfillment. And I challenge you to set an intention for yourself. Start now. If entrepreneurship, working for yourself, is what you desire, start now. And in 6 months, you will have the framework for your business in place. And it won't be perfection. It's not a finished empire, but you will have enough structure to move with confidence. And that framework begins with clarity. What are 2 or 3 things you do well and enjoy doing? What is work that energizes you? Work you can sustain. And the business that you choose to do should be something you care about, either the work itself or what the work provides for others. What is the outcome? And we can be skilled in many things. I know that I am. But we do not need to monetize all of them. Because this is about harmony. Because if you start out on something, I do this well, but you don't love it, you don't like it, or you don't love or like the outcome or what it brings to others, you're not going to stay in it long. You're not. And it also means knowing what to charge for your expertise. This is an area that I am working on. Let's just know that no one will ever be able to pay you your true worth, because we are priceless. What we do, what we know is priceless. So no one will ever be able to pay us that. However, we need to come to terms with, I'm providing this service, and this is what this service is worth. And we need to charge what it is. And we need to get over that hump. Oh, it's too much. I don't want them to. No, because if they go someplace else, that someplace else is going to charge them that. And because they value the service they're going to receive, they're willing to pay it. I mean, just think of yourself. You're willing to pay top dollar for certain things, for an outfit, for a pair of shoes, for a leather bag, or for a concert, because it's quality to us. So if what you are providing is quality, they are willing to pay it. And those who are not willing to pay it, want to bargain you down to nothing, walk away from that, because they don't value you. They don't value you. Now let's get back to knowing what to charge for our expertise. And not what feels small or safe, but what reflects your value and your experience. It means knowing who you serve best. Not everyone, but the right ones, as I was just saying. Not the ones who are going to bargain you down. It means having a simple way for people to find you and contact you. That can be a phone number, a business phone number. That could be an email address. It could be a simple one-page website or web page. And it means having proof, even one example or story that shows what you can do. And again, starting out is not about having it figured out from the start, but it is having enough in place to say yes when the opportunity appears. And we're like, why are we hesitant? Why haven't we already done this? And the answer is fear. We hesitate because we don't know if we're going to succeed. We doubt our ability to actually do the work, even though we have the skills. And we have the skills because we've done the work already. It's because it's validating ourselves. And it becomes unfamiliar when we have to validate ourselves. Let somebody else tell us, oh yeah, you're doing a good job. But we hesitate to tell ourselves that. And when we work for ourselves, we become the ones who says, this is valuable. This is enough. I belong here. And that transition can feel uncomfortable at first. And again, it's not because you are unqualified, but because the ownership asks you to stand fully in what you know. And this discomfort does not mean stop. It doesn't mean don't pass go. It means that this matters to you and you want to show up correctly. And fear is not the enemy of progress. Fear is often a sign that you are stepping into something meaningful. And the goal is not to eliminate the fear. The goal is to move forward with it, not because of it, but alongside it. And look at what we have carried, what you have carried. You have managed others. You have managed details others never saw. You solved problems. You kept the systems moving. And all of this required focus, judgment, and accountability. You adapted across time, across tools, across expectations. And this is not by chance. This is mastery built through experience. And the question is no longer, am I ready? The question becomes, am I postponing, or what am I postponing by not beginning? And often what is postponed is choice. The ability to choose your schedule, the ability to choose your clients, who are you serving, the ability to structure your work around your life and not the other way around. And research, again, shows that self-employed individuals often report better work-life balance and higher satisfaction with their work situation than the traditional employees. And this is not a coincidence. This is the result of ownership. You own it. So you get to set your time. Are you going to work from 9 a.m. to 12 and then the rest of the day is for you and your family? But be realistic. Can you get your work done in those 3 hours a day? But you get to determine that. You don't have to hustle and bustle and leave your house at 7 o'clock in the morning to arrive someplace at 8 o'clock and then have to be there until 4 or 5 o'clock and then have to turn around and do it all over again. Where's your time for yourself? Where's the time for your family? And again, let's be very specific about what you already have to offer to your new clients. And if you have managed projects, you understand timelines, priorities, and accountability. If you have worked with clients or customers, you understand service, communication, and relationship building. If you have handled budgets, invoices, and reporting, you understand financially responsibility and accuracy. And if you have trained others, you understand teaching, patience, and clarity. And if you have solved recurring problems, you understand systems, thinking, and process improvement. And every single one of these skills translates directly into business ownership because you will be doing all of that and some more. So again, we are not lacking, we are prepared. And before moving forward, it is reasonable to assess where you are. Maybe there is a skill you want to strengthen. Maybe there is something current in your discipline you want to feel fluent in. And again, this is not about seeking permission. It is about validating yourself within yourself through preparation. Because you need clear goals, they matter. And when goals are realistic and broken into manageable steps, momentum replaces overwhelm. And ask yourself, what is the next step I can take? Not everything, just the next step. Maybe it's updating your professional summary. And if you do that, I hope you have the aha moments that I had. Maybe it is researching how others in your field structure their services. That's key. That's part of your research. Maybe it is having one conversation with someone who has made this transition already from employee to entrepreneurship. And these small steps will build up your confidence. And your confidence will build action. And action builds results. And you do not need to begin with a full schedule. Start with a few clients. Learn what works. Refine your approach. And those experiences, again, will validate you. Then grow when you are ready. You are not racing. You are building something that is sustainable. And entrepreneurs who start small and scale intentionally often report higher satisfaction and less burnout than those who try to grow too quickly. And again, this is not about how fast you grow. This is about how well you build. And imagine 6 months from now, you have clarity about what you offer. You know who you serve. You have set your rates with confidence. You have a few clients who value what you do. You have testimonies that reflect your impact. You have momentum. You wake up knowing that the work you do today is building something that belongs to you. Not to a company, not to someone else's vision, but to you. And that sense of ownership changes how you move through your day. It changes your energy. It changes your sense of purpose. It changes what feels possible. And this is not just about income, the money you're bringing in. This is about harmony between your work and your values. This is about reclaiming your power, the power to choose your time, your income, your clients, and how you build your days. This is about owning your decisions instead of fitting into someone else's vision. And now, business ownership is not reserved for people with certain degrees, certain backgrounds, or certain networks. It is available to anyone willing to step into what they already know and offer it with intention. And again, you have spent years building expertise. Now is the time to let that expertise build something for you. To place your hand over your heart and feel your heartbeat. And say, 6 months from now, I will have the framework for my business in place. I know what I offer, who I serve and what I charge. I validate my experience and my worth. I stop minimizing what I bring. And this is worth repeating. Again, 6 months from now, I will have the framework for my business in place. I know what I offer, who I serve, and what I charge. I validate my experience and my worth. I stop minimizing what I bring. I choose harmony over approval. I choose to reclaim my power. I choose to build something that honors who I am and what I have learned. Let's repeat that again. I choose harmony over approval. I choose to reclaim my power. I choose to build something that honors who I am and what I have learned. I begin. I begin. Now breathe out. And this year is not about becoming someone new. It is about fully owning who you already are. And 6 months from now, you will recognize this moment right here as the beginning. And not because things changed, but because you finally gave yourself permission to start. And I wish you God's peace in this new year and beyond. Thank you for listening in to Words on a Higher Note, where reflection meets elevation, where grace meets growth, where personal evolution is not rushed, but embraced, honored, and celebrated. And may the skills you have built for others now build the life you have envisioned for yourself. And may your courage to begin be met with clarity, support, and the confidence that you are more than ready. Until next time, keep listening for the higher note. Say, be, and it is.